What's going on? I'm super glad you're here to join me today for this conversation. We're going to be talking about first-time home buyers. Are you a first-time home buyer? There's millions of Americans that haven't purchased a property yet. And so I'm here to kind of shed a little bit of light on why you should absolutely purchase a property, the benefits. I'll talk about some cons and stuff too, but most of it is benefit. Most of it is all pros, really, when you really think about it. So I'm going to start off with like a few questions that people typically ask, and then we just go into it from there. One of the first questions is, can I afford a house? You won't know that until you get pre-qualified, but I'm just going to give you like a little bit of a idea of what to expect. They don't want your monthly expenses to exceed 50% of your income, right? What does that mean? That just means that if I make $10, my mortgage, if I make $10 a month, my mortgage, my car note, my other expenses can't exceed $5. Easy. Or if you are thinking about purchasing a home and wondering, hey, should I purchase a property? Or, concerned about how much things are going to cost and what the monthly mortgage is going to be, taxes, all of that good stuff. That stuff can come later. I'm telling the first thing is go ahead and get a pre-approval. First time home buyer, go ahead and get a pre-approval. And not just because I'm in real estate, but also because now I see like how powerful of real estate is, in a sense where it's a wealth building machine. It's safe. It's moderately safe, let's say, right? It's tangible, right? It has utility. Like, it has so many functions to it that it makes it a no-brainer. Like, the way that it works is insane, right? Especially when you are purchasing a property for an investment reason. We'll get to that later, because the reality is that most people, they can purchase a home, they can own a home, they just don't know that they can own a home. Right? They think that they're gonna have some type of astronomical mortgage and it's gonna be, much more than what they're spending now. But my recommendation is to first go and speak to a lender. Right? Get that out the way. Get speaking to a lender out of the way. That way, the unknown is gone. I think that's the hardest part. Truthfully, I think it's the hardest part, because once you know. You speak to a lender, they're gonna say, hey, Mr. buyer, you qualify for, let's say, $150,000 or $200,000. Yeah, you may not be able to purchase in California or New York, right? But there are plenty of places where you can actually purchase real estate. Now, I'm not just saying buy real estate for your own personal, to actually dwell in, right? I'm saying just get some real estate, because the reality is that it's a wealth builder. Right, so there's plenty of places in the Midwest where you can purchase a property that fits your budget, and when you purchase those properties, you can rent them out. And while the tenant is paying off your mortgage, of course, they're benefiting as well. But while the mortgage is being paid off, simultaneously you're gaining equity in the home. It's a no-brainer, actually. So even if you don't live in the property, I'm just saying go ahead and get some real estate. And all it takes is to go ahead and speak to a lender to get that started. I'm an advocate, right? I'm an advocate for real estate. I've personally benefited. I've seen what it's done for my family, right? And then so many others. I sell real estate. That's what I do. That's my job. So I've seen people who purchased the property and 2 years later been able to sell it for a gain, right? If they hadn't bought that house, they wouldn't have had that extra money to go do the things that they love. So again, first things first. Let's go ahead and find you a lender, right? Most people, they want 2 years of employment, and you have to have at least a 580 credit score. Now, the FHA has announced some stuff. I haven't actually confirmed it, where they're accepting lower FICO scores, but let's just keep it as standard at 580, because I know for sure, without a shadow of a doubt, that's gonna work, right? I can't tell you how many times I've had clients, friends, family who qualified for a mortgage who didn't know that they qualified, right? It took them quite a bit of time for them to actually pull the trigger, get pre-qualified, and purchase a property. Nothing wrong with it. Typically, it takes two years from start to finish for you to purchase a property, but don't put off the initial step, which is find out if you qualify, right? Just go speak to a lender. I mean, it's like, just think of it like a brand new iPhone or something come out. You go get the iPhone, they gonna run your credit, right? Same thing. They're gonna run your credit and gonna tell you right off the bat, hey, this is your FICO score. I'm recommending you have at least a 580 in order to purchase a property for FHA. But they're gonna look at it and say, hey, you can purchase up to this amount. Hey, you've been working for 2 years. Okay, great. Hey, you have a business. You're 1099, right? You can also buy a house. Don't get it twisted. Like, if you are a business owner and you don't own a property, you can. And a lot of times, a lot of the lender restrictions are a little bit more lenient for like business owners. So just keep that in mind. So first things first, go and speak to who? A lender. Go speak to a lender. I have a bunch of lenders who I work with. I have a great lender in Michigan. My boy Derek, man, Thomas. Hey man, my bad if I screwed that up, bro. But my boy Derek out there is doing his thing. He's closed a bunch of deals for me. My wife out here, obviously, she takes care of our loans and stuff here. So you have resources. We got resources. There's lenders everywhere, right? We can make sure you get some money, right? That's the first starting point, right? Like, I wouldn't worry about like the mortgage, the taxes, all that stuff, because that's gonna come as soon as they tell you what you can purchase. And here's the thing too, like, if you live in states like California, right? I live in California. I know that the real estate prices are crazy out here, right? So a lot of people I talk to, like, dude, I can't afford a house, right? I can't afford there may be some truth in that, right? In California, but you can still afford a house. Whether or not you live in the property or you're renting a property out or you're buying it as an investment, all I'm saying is go buy a house. It's the number one wealth building machine in the nation. I mean, I would argue in the world, right? What's the saying? Stocks and bonds will get you rich, but real estate will make you wealthy. That still stands today, right? So even if you don't purchase the property to live in, you can start your portfolio or start your investment property somewhere else, right? In the Midwest, the entry point is a little bit lower, right? You can purchase a property out there and rent it out, turn a profit, boom, you get 10 of those. Hey, you 10x that, you 10x that. Now you got an apartment building. No, I'm joking, but like it's it's small steps, right? You can afford something. You can afford a property you just have to look for it. And I'm here to help. That's the thing. I'm here to help. I'm not just going to tell you something and then just let you hang you out to dry. If you are interested in purchasing a property, you live out here in Cali, you don't want, the price, like, dude, I can't, I get it. We can still find you a home, okay? What is a mortgage pre-approval? We just went over that. That's basically the lender's estimate on how much you can buy, right? They're just telling you, hey, this is what you can purchase. What are closing costs? Those are fees. Closing costs are fees that are associated with like finalizing the purchase, right? You have escrow fees. This is a whole nother class. Dude, escrow is like a neutral third party that handles like the money and the title, right? They're like right in the middle, and they make sure that everything is good before they exchange assets, right? Money is an asset. Real estate asset before they exchange it. Okay, let's see, what do we have next? What's the earnest money deposit? Earnest money deposit is your skin in the game, right? When you find a property that you actually like, you're gonna have to put down a deposit that's basically telling the seller, hey, I'm interested in your property and I have true intent to purchase your property. I'm gonna go ahead and reserve it, right? Here's my X amount of dollars to reserve the property while I am doing my due diligence on the home. And ultimately, if I purchase the property, my earnest money deposit is going to go towards the purchase of the home. So it's just your skin in the game. It's you reserving the house. That's your earnest money deposit. I do want to touch on earnest money deposits though. In California, now it may be different in other states, but in California specifically, there is a time frame where the buyer can conduct his investigations, right? Let's say the standard is 17 days. You have 17 days to inspect the property. This is once your offer is accepted. This is once you identify a home. The seller is like, yeah, we'll choose you guys. We accept your offer. It's in writing. Your contract escrow is open. Now comes the time for your due diligence. 17 days. You have 17 days to do your inspection, right? You're gonna look at the house, you're gonna make sure that it's okay, right? But if you wanna really get to the nitty gritty, have a roofer come in, have an electrician come in, have a plumber come in, have a structural engineer come in, right? Have the people come up in there, right? And make sure that the property that you're purchasing is a good property. Most of these properties are good, though. I mean, I haven't, dude, it's a house. It's a house. I honestly think that people bring the bad energy to a house when they constantly think some stuff is going wrong, right? Something's that they got duped or they got tricked, and they create those circumstances. But all the properties that I've sold, I probably had one that had some issues, but one or two that had some problems, but we were able to fix those problems rather quickly. But yeah, home inspection is a must. Do not waive home inspection. I'll tell you something though. During 2000, this is kind of like to add to my point, right? Like the quality of these homes are pretty good. During the pandemic, everybody waived buyer inspection, home inspections. Everybody waived them. Nobody did them. Nobody cared, right? And I saw so many properties during that time, and none of those people was calling me back like, oh, this is going on, or the foundation's cracked, or the house is falling. It's a house, man. It's a house. Unless you're out there in Hollywood Hills or Sherman Oaks, where your property is sitting on the side of a cliff and you got beams sticking to the side of a mountain. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you might have some stuff, but here they're all on slab or ridge foundation. Dude, it's not rocket science. Okay, so, all right, we went over PMI. Okay, what is principal mortgage insurance? That's a great question. Principal mortgage insurance is a premium that you pay for not having 20% down payment. Everybody has it, right? Every lender has to implement principal mortgage insurance if you're not putting at least 20% down. The good ones, the good lenders, they have this program to once you reach 20% equity in your property, then the PMI falls off, right? So you start saving money instantly. How long does the home buying process take? That's like a trick question, right? Because the home buying process from start to finish is about 2 years. But what I mean by that is like from the point that someone decides to purchase a home to the time that they actually close on that property is typically, right, 2 years. Now, the other question, like the answer to the other side of it, is 30 days, right? To actually purchase a property is 30 days. You enter escrow, 30 days later, your loan is approved, and by enter escrow, I mean you open up a sale on a home. And 30 days later, that's how long it takes for you to do your inspections, to get an appraisal, for the lender to underwrite your finances to make sure that you can afford the property. That's it.